What is going on, everyone? It's Ultimate Spy 53 here, and welcome to another episode of Reviewed number 112. And today, I'm going to be reviewing the movie Wreck-It Ralph. So what did I think of Wreck-It Ralph? Well, I actually liked it a lot. It was really good, and I know I say a lot about Disney movies, but this particular movie was really good because it had a lot of that sense of what an arcade life is. Like, it gave you the perspective of a character who is kind of bored of being a bad guy, and that's Wreck-It Ralph, or Ralph as he's called. And he's basically the perspective of like what video game characters, like arcade retro, like 80s or something like that, like the classic arcade games, what their perspective. And I really liked that. I thought that was really cool. Like the narration is, Wreck-It Ralph is tired of being the bad guy, so he wants to become a good guy. He game jumps to Her Duty, gets medal, and then he meets Penelope and this Sergeant Calhoun person is next, and Felix ends up going after him to bring him back, and then we discover King Candy and Sugar Rush, all this stuff. But the interesting thing I liked about it is the fact that we get to see like a different perspective. Like we get to into the arcade and see what life is like when the game is not played, and I actually liked that a lot. That was really cool. And I just thought it was a very unique way of telling a story, especially since for classic arcades. I mean, it was really cool that they had like a lot of the video game references, like when Ralph is outside of the Pac-Man, like he's checked out because he's doing like a meeting in Pac-Man, and he said, he like one of the guys at the door, he's like, oh, your name is like, oh, Lara Croft. So we have Lara Croft mentioned, and then also like Sonic's there also, and Mario is mentioned. So there's a few characters mentioned. Some of them are just like actually homeless characters, but I think it was a really good movie. I think it was it was a very unusual Disney movie because Disney movies are usually not like video game-esque. They're not really told in this type of way. I mean, it was a Disney movie, but it was like a very different movie because not a lot of Disney movies have a story like this, and it was really cool because it was like it shows you 30 years between the game being the 30 years that the game Fix Felix Jr. is in the arcade. We show like the different games that are replaced and stuff, and how it changed. It's really cool. It's just like it shows you this bad guy who does not want to be a bad guy anymore. Basically, he's treated like crap. He's all that stuff, and it's just very. I think it was a very interesting movie. I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic movie, especially the ending credits. I think the ending credits were actually really cool. That was a really cool part about the movie. The song, everything, the video game stuff. I think the main plot of the movie, and not to have this review just about the plot, but the basic idea is that he wins a medal by getting jumping to Her Duty, which is essentially the first person shooter. Like basically Halo, because Halo involves a lot of aliens and stuff. So you have Halo kind of thing, and it's like he jumps up to get a medal, and then he accidentally goes to Sugar Rush because he gets in this pod accidentally because he gets crushed all these these alien eggs and stuff. So it goes to Sugar Rush, which was like this really like basic Candyland essentially. This Candylight land place, and so he goes there, meets Penelope, this super cute girl. She's so cute. She has like candy in her hair, and she has like this like a red vine gummy hair tie thing. She's really cute, and she steals Ralph's medal and uses it as a coin to get into the race. Unfortunately, she can't race because she's a glitch, and I thought that was really cool. The fact that she's actually a glitch, but she can't actually race. But in reality, I think it's a very cool message. It really makes the movie really stand out. It's a phenomenal movie. I thought it was really good. There's actually a sequel coming out. That's why I decided to review it now, because I haven't reviewed it yet. And the sequel's coming out. It's about the internet, and they're going to the internet, and that's coming out in November. But this movie, I thought it was a very cool movie because it had a lot of video game references. It really showed you basically the life as a video game character, like what life is like when the game is not being played. The fact that things can go out of order. King Candy is basically the main villain of the story. He's known as Turbotastic, who basically game jumped from his game to another game he was jealous of a game that everyone else was paying more attention to. Everyone just basically abandoned it. He said, oh, I'm gonna abandon that game. So he abandoned this game to go to that game, and then that game all glitch and everything, and then that game basically he caused two games in the arcade to be taken into storage, out of order kind of thing, so they could be fixed and stuff. and so he becomes King Candy, and he's also known as Turbotastic, and he is essentially the biggest virus, the greatest virus of all time, and he can take over any day basically. And I think that was crazy, but also there was a couple of Easter eggs, not video game Easter eggs, actually just like actual like film Easter eggs. There's a Hulk Easter egg in there. It was when Ralph gets in this green candy slime and on actual candy, he's very much like the Hulk. He's green and everything. Basically that, and then when he's hiding from the cops with the devil dogs, which I think they're actually donuts or something, I don't know. But basically he's breathing under this like I think chocolate liquid or whatever. He hates chocolate. By the way, by the end of the movie, we don't actually he loves chocolate. And there's actually a Darth Vader breathing noise, like the I think, basically he does that, and that's a Star Wars Easter egg because I'm pretty sure that Star Wars, both Marvel and Star Wars were a thing by 2012 because 2012 was when the movie came out. I think it was a great movie. It definitely shows the idea of like what it's like to be a video game villain. What's the perspective of a video game villain who's tired of being the bad guy, because it was actually very big into the movie. We see like the bad guy, I guess, meet up and they talk about their life and stuff like that. We have Bowser, we have Dr. Eggman, we have really enough the Orange Ghost from Pac-Man. All of these classic arcade games I haven't ever actually played myself. There's actually even a zombie there. I haven't played all of them. Bowser was really fun to see. That was really cool because it's actually in that world. So it was really cool, and also to see that Calhoun. She's a very interesting character. She's actually voiced by Jane Lynch. She looks very much like the character. That was really cool. I expected. She's basically this female soldier, this female sergeant who is all aggressive and everything. She wants to protect kids. She knows that the bugs from her game are being infected to the other game, and if that happens, then the entire arcade gets like lost because things happen like any force. Game jumping is a big thing, but also a subplot is the fact that Felix Jr. he goes after Ralph, and basically he falls in love with Calhoun, basically, which I think is really funny. Like the scene where they're in this Laffy Taffy jungle where every time you get hurt, you make the Laffy Taffy actually laugh and they come down, and then basically it's funny, but also we see that kind of see the romantic things because the worst thing that survived was her wedding day, which is when her fiance got eaten alive by a giant bug thing, which is part of the game. It brought her to the. But it's also really cool. It's cool to see the arcade from a video game character perspective. I like that. I thought that was really cool. And we see that Vanellope is actually she's a glitch. She's supposed to be in the game, and thirdly she goes to this place where she's like home, basically Diet Cola Mountain, which is this hot boiling cola, and basically it's unfinished bonus level essentially, sort of like that. And she basically races, and by going through this factory, which you can basically make your own race car. And unfortunately, another plot is the fact that King Candy wants Ralph to stop Vanellope from racing, because if he doesn't, then the whole game will die, because she will be trapped in there forever because of her glyph act. She's glitched on a lot of stuff. But I think it was a very fun movie. I really wish the game was actually real. I think you can actually find a version of Fix It Felix Jr. on the internet. It's very much like a Donkey Kong type of game, but not really. It's a fun movie. It really is. It's like a very big video game referencing. It's just a big movie. I think it was a fantastic movie. I loved it. I think nothing really wrong with it. All I can say, it was fun. It had a great soundtrack. It had some great moments. Ralph was a very fun character. I like Vanellope. She was fun. I think that overall, it was a very fun movie. I liked it. Had a lot of video game references. Actually, there's a Lara Croft reference. Overall, if you're a video game person, you're related to the classic arcade games, then you'll like Ralph. It's very fun. I'm glad they're making a sequel, because the sequel is supposed to take place 6 years after the first one, which actually makes sense because of the fact that the timeline. Because this one came out 2012, this one's coming out 2018. This year, 6 years apart. That's perfect. But honestly, if you're a video game nerd, like classic arcade nerd, that's a very fun movie. And there's actually, when Ralph is entering the arcade of Pac-Man arcade, he's like Game Central here. I think Game Central is the most cool part about it, because he's like Sonic and all that stuff. It's a very awesome movie. I loved it. I think it's very unusual for Disney to make these kind of movies, but then when they make movies that are very usual, not the kind of thing they make, I think it's brilliant. I think they make a really good job. That's really all I can say about Wreck-It Ralph. boy, but it's a very fun movie. It has a great voice acting. There's John C. Reilly. He's pretty. He's a well-known actor. I know him for a lot of things. There's Alan Tudyk, who plays King Candy, who turns out to be Turbotastic, who game jumps a lot. There's the Hero Studio. There's a lot of references to other video game, classic arcade games, and just overall it's really fun. I think the very end was really fun because you have the homeless arcade characters who have nowhere to go, and they decide to invite. So Wreck-It Ralph basically decides to invite them over to their game so they can have like a little bonus level. I think that's a really cool because bonus levels are fun. I think they're really, but really that's all I can say about Wreck-It Ralph. I would recommend it. I think it's a brilliant movie. I have nothing else to say about it, but yeah, it's a great soundtrack, great characters. I'm really excited for the second one. As a first movie, I think it's great. I will say, I did tear up a bit. It's a sad movie. It's very sad because Wreck-It Ralph is very he wrecks stuff. He's really fun, but I think that Fix Felix is very fun too. I think they're all fun, but I think the fact that it gets emotional. So think the emotions of Inside Out. That's kind of the emotions I would say. Prepare for it yourself. So just so you know, it's a very fun movie. That's really all I can say about the movie. It's fantastic. Wreck-It Ralph, great movie. Disney movie, which I feel like it would be a Pixar movie, but it's Disney. It's a much Disney movie. It's phenomenal. I recommend it. But that's all I can say about Wreck-It Ralph. I would give it a 10 out of 10 score. I don't really have anything else to say about it. The fact it was just a brilliant movie. I didn't really have any problems with it. It was fantastic, and I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, Wreck-It Ralph was a great movie. It was a great movie. It's really, I think to end this review off, I would just want to say that it was a very fun to see a movie centered on the video game perspective of characters and see what really goes on behind the scenes when the game's not being played or whatever, and how. Like what it's like to be a video game character, basically, which I think is really fun. That's not usually something you see in movies at all. But there was some documentaries, but nothing like this game, nothing like this movie, which I think is brilliant. So anyway, I'm gonna give this movie a 10 out of 10 because I had no problems with it at all. It was fantastic. I'd recommend it totally. Go see it. It's pretty old by now, but it's still, I loved it. It's fantastic. So anyway, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Reviewed. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. I really do appreciate the support. And, if you're to this channel, subscribe for more episodes of this series and other series that I do, as well as other great content. And I'll be back next time with another episode. Alright? See ya.